Hey everybody, I'm Arglefumph, and this is a speedrun for Carol Reed 17, Amos Green's final Repose. I tried to beat the game as quickly as possible. I beat the game in under 33 minutes. Yeah, 32 minutes, 51 seconds. Not bad. You might be able to beat it in under 30 minutes if you're really good. I made a lot of mistakes in my speed run.
It's
I was doing a run for fun, not like trying to get the best time ever. Just having fun with it. Alrighty. So, let's see. Here at the start, we grab the vintage flashlight, and then we go get two things from the water closet. So, you'll notice I click whenever Carol talks. That cuts off her dialogue. And we're going to see something here as soon as she puts her stuff inside the washing machine. I want to listen for it. Right now. Okay, so, did you see that? Did you see that? You didn't hear it, but the text appeared at the bottom of the screen. That was Carol actually talking. So that's just the way the game works. If you have perfect timing, or if you're really, really good at clicking, you could just skip the dialogue completely. We're going to see that again here with Stina's first lines, I think. Right there. So Stina talked, but we didn't hear anything. Now, with her other lines, I did not click fastly enough, and you can hear her.
I've never, but his name. I found this.
Yeah, so...
Yes, he didn't.
That's not a huge time waster, but it does add up over time. Imagine if every single, half second of dialogue got cut out of this run. That would make it a great speedrun. And me not messing up on this puzzle would also be a great speedrun, too. Okay, so the solution is 2, 4, 3, 1. And now we're going to Triangle Park. So Stina is basically saying there's a dead person found in this area. That was the dead person's purse. The dead person had an old note. I think the note must be 8 years old. It says, hey, the dead person was going to meet Elam here. Well, Elam's not around anymore. Elam's actually dead himself. He died in the past 8 years. But what we do have is a note from Gunnar. And Gunnar knew both of them. He knew the dead man Amos, and he knew the dead man Elam. So we're going to go and talk to him right now. So with this conversation, you'll notice that we've got different things we need to click on. There are 5 different things we have to click on there. And I completely messed up on all of those. So another speed run, a beautiful speed run strategy would be not messing up on that and getting every single line of dialogue the instant it appears on the screen. So you'll notice they show up from top to bottom. And here I'm just getting stuff for him, and then we'll go right back to him. So notice this in our conversation. It's got the dialogue from top, bottom, 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 bottom. You just go straight down the list. Yeah, so if you're good enough, you would be able to move your mouse to where the dialogue option is going to be, and that would let you click on the dialogue option the very second it first appears on the screen. Now, that's kind of tough, though, because the dialogue options are different sizes. So, okay, there's one line, and then sometimes Carol says 2 lines, and sometimes she says 3 or 4 lines. And that's sort of, it's not a big deal, but in a perfect speedrun, you just have the length of the lines memorized, and you'd be able to always move your mouse down to the perfect spot while the characters are talking to you. Now, here I made a mistake. I overshot that, so I have to turn around and go back to it. That's a shame. The other big thing with the speedrun is just navigation. You need to be able to move your mouse quickly, and you need to know exactly where you're going, too. So that is the other major way that you would be able to improve upon the speedrun is much better navigation. My navigation's not the greatest. I'm kind of slow, especially in an area like this where we're taking, back, forward, right, forward, forward, left, forward, forward, forward. Oh, and then here in this spot, I don't even have to move my mouse. I can just click 7 times in a row. But you notice what happened after I clicked 7 times in a row? I was like, wait a minute, what do I do now? Do I go left or right? And that sort of tripped me up. And it took me a while to actually realize, oh, I'm not moving forward anymore. I have to turn left and right. But it is really nice when you have those spots where you could just keep your mouse in one location, just click, 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 over and over and over again. We have one of those here. So here at the start of this area, you could just click just like 12 times in a row. And then you turn around. Yeah, you saw that number 20. And then here I mess it up. You need to turn at the correct spot. I messed up. I got the wrong spot, and I even slowed down a bit to try to make sure I didn't miss it. And I missed it anyway. And there I tried to go forward, but I can't go forward. So, more just navigation things. With this door, you need to click on the door in order to realize it's locked. Some doors are like that in this game. Other doors are not. I don't know why. I don't know what the difference is. And here I am solving the puzzle on the phone. And Carol's going to be upset.
Oh.
I don't know why I waited for her to talk, because I skipped that dialogue. Anyway, here we're going to go to the left and talk to a character.
You can't just use...
And this person's dialogue thing shows up on the left-hand side. Yeah, and I think another, what do you call it? Another speedrun thing is memorizing how long these characters talk. Because, sometimes the character only has one line of dialogue in response to what you say. Sometimes they have multiple lines of dialogue in response to what you say. And that can throw you off. As I've already explained, it's like, sometimes I get into a groove of clicking like 3 or 4 times in a row. And then it takes me like a half second to readjust. And realize, oh, okay, I'm done. I'm doing something else now. Okay, so here we are cleaning everything off. And then we're going to the athletics club and also cleaning off graffiti. And then we're going to get some fat balls. Now you notice whenever we go to a new location, we have that loading screen and there's a bar which appears at the bottom of the screen. I'll try to point that out next time we switch locations. Oh, there I messed up. I meant to grab the inventory item, but did not. I'm not very good at grabbing inventory items. With these, they're always in the same spot. You just need to know where to turn, that's all. Yeah, I could have gone a little faster there. I didn't want to accidentally overshoot and miss one of the balls. That was me kind of messing up on the pickup. Once you finish your task, Carol talks, and we go back to Big A. And I accidentally left the area. I didn't mean to, so that was a mistake. So I had to leave. I had to instantly return. Kind of there he's talking an awful lot,
he was
followed by a one-line conversation. And here we have to wait for... What are we waiting for? Waiting for the map thing to show up. Yeah, so... Now we're being sent on yet another chore. This is one of the longer ones. We have to get some bee stuff. And again, we have to wait a bit. Yep, this is one of those puzzles where you can do things in either order. It doesn't really matter. Like the box traverse, there's like 3 different steps, and you can do them in any order. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Kind of messed up there with that navigation. Oh well. Let's see which order I do it in. So one thing is getting herbs from the herb garden. We see it's broken, which triggers Jonas, and then we talk to him, which triggers the ability to go to the other herb garden. And that's one of the things. Another thing is going to the other bee place, the box trout bee place. And another thing is going home, where we are going to pick up 2 items from Carol's place. This one here.
These.
And then one inside her bedroom. Okay, next I'm going to... see, I clicked on the beehives and then moved my mouse, but then it turns out I didn't click on the beehives. That's another silly mistake. Yeah, so I make a bunch of smaller, minor mistakes, but hey, I was not trying to get the world's best time. I'm just speed running for fun. So basically, I just played through the game 3 times, and that's it. Now, I could get a way better time if I did this like 20 times in a row. Yeah, I would be faster if I did this 20 times in a row. Maybe I could even beat the game in under a half hour. But it wouldn't be very fun for me, so sorry. Alrighty, so we're grabbing the 2 herbs here. And it doesn't really matter what time you do these things in either. Like, you know, I could have put the herbs together and set them on fire later. I could have done them before. Okay, so at the bottom of the screen, I'll point that out next time we switch places. But at the bottom of the screen, we've got like a progress bar. I think it's a loading bar. I don't know quite what it is or how it works. I think manipulating that would be a big step in helping the speedrun. Because it does take a while over the course of the game. Because it happens every single time we switch locations, and we switch locations with some frequency. Okay, so use that thingy, and then the box on the bees.
Another one.
And now we got both bees. And finally, we can go back to Big A and get the address of the bees. So, green thing at the bottom of the screen, 1 and 2. You notice the bar fills up twice. That's what I'm wondering. Is there a way to only get it to fill up once? I'm not sure. Let's look again here with the bee. 1. And then 2. So the first time it fills up really quickly. I don't know what that is. Maybe the first one is just loading your inventory? Or maybe it's just loading the pictures that will appear. Don't know. Anyway, long conversation with that guy. And now we go to the bee's country house. Because that guy is the bee. So Gunnar told us about this guy. This location gave me so much trouble just going through the game casually. But it's not too tough when you're speedrunning it. Okay, kind of made a mistake there. I went left, I should have gone right, because going right is slightly faster. Because if you go left, you have to go through 3 screens, but if you turn right to leave that area, you only have to go through 2. Yeah, okay, and you do want to go through the right door first. You want to go through the left door second. Yep, spun in the wrong direction there, too. If you spin left instead of right, you get to this letter faster. You make fewer clicks. Yeah, but you'll notice exiting that door is... Exiting the door on the left is different from exiting the door on the right. That's why you want to exit the door on the left first. Yeah, no, maybe if I got like a different computer or a bigger computer, I would go through the loading stuff faster? I don't know. I know with like official speedrun, like, I think competitions or timing, they try not to count loading screens and loading time. Okay, and yeah, I'm messing up on the movement here, going a little slow. This area is just kind of tough for me. Yeah, did not do well with the Krusenhof at all. Alrighty, so now we're in Jungmannhof. Basically, we're just exploring areas where we know Amos went, but we're not really finding any major clues. We're just looking around, hoping to find anything at this point. So, you know, the guy he lived with, the bee, he lived with the bee for a few years. You know, these are the barns. They were both owned by the bee. The item I got from inside the barn helps us solve this puzzle. We can't solve that puzzle until we see the thing inside the barn. Okay, and then now we're going back to the other barn. Notice I hesitated there because I forgot which barn to select. Oh well. And the key opens up this door. where we have that. And it's going to let us into the orangery over here. Yeah, I messed up there too. You'll notice I want to click on the hole to go through it, but no, you need to click on the palette. Ah, did not click on that flashlight thing. Yeah, I find it a minor pain that we have to use the flashlight multiple times in this game. Like, at some point, Carol should be smart. Okay, and I overshot the exit there. At some point, she should just automatically use the flashlight whenever it gets dark, right? Instead of having to manually use it every time. I accidentally right-clicked there, as you saw, because it took me back to the main screen. Don't know why I did that. So this is a door where you'll notice I don't have to click on the door. Carol automatically knows the door is locked without interacting with it. Some doors are like that. I don't know why. Okay, so I got the 2 items from the attic, and I'm going to use the items here. Well, one of them here. And this has a note about the locker at the other barn. And playing this game casually, I'm like, no, I just got, oh, messed up there. I was like, no, I just got away from using that barn. You're sending me back. Ah. Alrighty, so it says we can go to, no, it said locker number 7 is his locker. And here you want to
That's
click
a peculiar locker.
Yeah, I messed up there because you need to click on it, and then Carol's going to talk about it. And then you have to use the item on it. Okay, so we just got an item. I need to clean it off at some point. Don't know why I waited until I got to the map before I did that.
Amos.
But as soon as we clear off the item, we can talk to Amos. We can talk to the bee about it.
Oh.
He talks about an area where Amos used to live. But no, he doesn't talk about that. He sends us on this beehive quest. So, first we need to find these bees. Which is a really easy area to navigate. I don't know why I had some trouble there. But it's basically you go forward in a line, then you turn, go forward in a line, then turn, and go forward in a line. That's it. So no real twists and turns. I find it a little more difficult when you're having to make left-hand turn forward, right-hand turn. But no, if you're just running in a straight line for most of the time, that's relatively simple. Okay, so he's making us do the bee challenge in this new bee place, which I guess is fine. Yeah, I messed up with the inventory there. And that was sort of a mess up, too. I didn't click to skip her line of dialogue.
Another.
Ah, there we go. Oh, I accidentally stepped forward there when I wasn't supposed to. Oh, no.
Go.
Yep. Well, this game is very linear. Like, for this challenge, it's like, okay, well, we have to do this challenge at this particular point in time. There's no real skipping around. With that earlier bee challenge, you know, because there were like 3 or so different aspects to it, you could have done that in any order. Didn't really matter. Oh, and here's something else. Like, we could have done this earlier, but I put it off until now, which is going to this guy's boat and grabbing this item, because it requires... We're going to open it with this hook that we found in one of the barns. And that's why I put it off. It's like I put it off until after we get that item from the barn. Alright, and now the boat is cleaned and we can visit the new area. The area where Amos used to live here in Orfield. This is an area which is relatively simple, but I still kind of get messed up because it's got a lot of turns. Step forward, turn left. And this is a house belonging to a random character? I'm not sure this character gets named. Well, no, the character gets named on a map, but it doesn't get specifically said out loud. So, we go to the character's house, we go upstairs, and we need to turn around. We need to go forward and then turn around so we can find that, because we can't find it just by turning around. And that doesn't work.
Or not.
We don't have their phone. I mean, we knew the address, but that doesn't help. So now we go back to the city and we tell Stina.
That's it. Oh,
Now we go to Orfield, and yeah, Stina basically gave us Amos's address. I think this is another place where you've got multiple things to do. Kind of. So, we're getting this pen. You have to look at that paper. You have to look at the pen and the paper. But the pen is the important thing you need to get. And here's the other thing. We've got this puzzle. You're really not supposed to solve it until... actually, I think it's impossible for you to solve it until you read that notebook. And then the next puzzle there is opening the cassette player. And that's something I could have done then. I'm actually going to put it off for, like, a brief moment. Actually, not a brief moment. Yeah. Because what I do is I get the key from the neighbor's house, and then I'm going to go over here to the jetty, and that's going to give me the item, which I will use to open up the cassette player. But there's two parts to the cassette player thing. One is just clicking on it and seeing that it's there. But I figured it's faster just to do both parts of the cassette player thing at once. So I'm doing both parts here. So zoom in and she talks, and then I click on it a second time to notice that it's closed.
Cassette salad.
And once I know it's closed, then I can use that item on it. Okay, and then I use that pen on the cassette, and we're going to go to Jonas. Because Jonas is our tech guru. And this is going to be another straightforward thing. He basically gives us a list of 5 things to find. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. We're going to get them all at the obstacle course. This puzzle is basically just going through the obstacle course in the correct spots. Turning in the correct spots. Just grab every single item along the way. It's kind of slow to pick up that one, but that's okay. And item number 6 is going to be over here on the left. And I can use that on the neighbor's house, but you have to go back to Jonas first. The game doesn't let you go to the neighbor's house. So if you do that, Carol... Carol's like, no, I gotta finish with Jonas first. So I can't help but think that there must be another exit to this area, the neighbor's house, because it has its separate spot on the map for entering it, right? Why isn't there a separate spot on the map for exiting it? I don't know, I couldn't find a separate exit place, so I exit by the Amos house exit. Alright, let's see what we do here. We go inside this house. Yeah, we look in this. It's got another note about Stina's mother. Grab that. Accidentally messed up. You're supposed to double click to pick it up. Use it right here, and then you go up on it. That gives you the key. And that goes for this shed. You do have to click on the door and then try using the key on the door. So now we need to make the key not as rusty. So we're going to go back home. We're going to get some soda. We're going to use soda on the steel wool, and that will make the key not as rusty. Looks like I had trouble going inside the house there. Alrighty.
Maybe this wasn't so
that
useless
was actually
after
slightly
all.
faster, the navigation there to go into the living room and then turn around from there, rather than turning around from the entrance. Because if you turn around from the entrance, you have to turn 3 times. But if you turn around from inside, you only turn around twice. I don't know. Is that faster? Because you do have to take a step forward to do the twice turnaround. I don't know. It just seems like a faster turnaround. Okay, we got a letter from Stina's mother, and now we have this message from Jonas. So there's an optional thing in the house that I skipped because you don't have to read it. Okay, and then here we use the 2 items on each other. We're going to play it. And that unlocks the church area. So I believe we go forward, we stop around here, zoom in on that. That gives us the numbers for this door. 5, 9, 10. And the numbers there say 10, 27, so that's the number for this door. That just gives us this letter, which tells us about a new location where the church is, and we're just going to go there. This is all very straightforward here. This is very linear at this point in the game.
What? Yeah.
Okay, we asked him about Amos. This is not the first time in the game where they send a piece of paper at you and force you to stare at it for a few seconds. Presumably it's so the player can read that piece of paper and then find out, hey, there's a new location to go to. So here in the power line, we're going to climb it. We're going to climb down, and we're going to go here, and then that's it. So what you're supposed to do is actually look at the puzzle. So there are 4 different spots in the pipe with numbers on them. And I think there's an empty spot with no number on it. So you're supposed to actually stop and look, but the game doesn't check if you've looked at the numbers. The game only checks if you've run down the pipe, if you've reached the ending spot of the pipe. So you can just go to the end of the pipe without looking at any of the numbers, and it still accepts this solution. There's another spot in the game where we can do the exact same trick, and not too far from now. Oh, and yeah, and here we get a message. So this is another place where the game sort of splits off, and we've got a couple of things. I didn't mean to step forward there. My mistake. Okay, so what am I doing? Jonas? Yeah, Jonas. So it's like, okay, do we go to Jonas, or do we follow up on that message from Kat? Kat told us about the bunker. The bunker is a new spot that showed up. And there's Gunnar. Gunnar sending messages, so we go to Gunnar. I put off the bunker until the end.
Man, it's
mainly because we can only do half of the puzzle there, so it's like, why go there and do half the puzzle, then come back later and do the other half of the puzzle? It's a lot faster to do the 2 halves together. So that's a case where, you know, we could do things in a different order, but it's obviously a lot faster to do them in one order, as opposed to splitting up the puzzle twice. Or splitting up the puzzle into 2 parts. Yeah, so in this case, it's faster to follow up on the Gunnar and Elim stuff. Alright, this is another letter we have to look at. Tells us about another abandoned trailer. And then both these trailer things... Well, let's see, there's 2 things here at this trailer, and they both get answered by the church guy. So, one's over here. It says, hey, Elam frequented their church thing. And there's Jonas, yeah. Jonas has his thing, so we could visit him before. Yeah, I think we visit him before or after. It doesn't really matter. Before or after going to the church person. In this case, doesn't matter. But you do talk to Jonas and the church guy. The church guy is going to tell us about the gospel quiz. And then Jonas is going to give us the charged phone. And that's what the gospel quiz is for. Okay, so this is the second place where the game doesn't check if you've looked at everything. What you're supposed to do is look at all these signs. We're passing by various signs. It only checks to see if you've gotten to the end of the area. So I go to the end of the area and check the final sign, and the game says, oh, you must have checked all the signs, right? Right? Cool. And that gives me the password to the phone. That's what those signs were. And you'll notice, like, the things on the on the map screen changed as soon as I entered the password. So that's definitely a trigger for various locations on the map screen. Okay, so that was a message from the bee. That's why we visited to the bee and got some clarification. He tells us about this spot here, which we're gonna dig twice. Yeah, you'll notice our inventory, now our inventory has a lot of, what do we call it, papers that we're not going to read, but they're good to have, I suppose. Okay, so the buried clue gives us a solution to this puzzle. And then this, you just have to guess until you get it right. It's okay. That gives us a key. Is the key for the other barn? I don't know. Figuring out where the keys go to is kind of tough. Yeah, it's the other barn. Okay. Let's see. It's this locked door. You have to zoom in on it first. Then turn right, and this is going to give us the clay house. That's the location. Yep, and yeah, that was what one of those text messages was about. Cat's text message was saying this house existed, but now we know where it actually is.
Maybe.
You need to zoom in on that in order to solve this puzzle. If you don't zoom in on it, you can't solve the puzzle. You're expected to press the buttons, but no, you don't have to press the buttons. You just have to zoom in on those buttons. And that gives us the key, which is the second half of the bunker challenge. So now I'm solving the bunker challenge. Go forward twice, look left. That gives us the password. And it's the password and the key together that let you inside. Okay, here we use the flashlight.
Oh no, it's...
I should have clicked faster to skip that dialogue. And here you just use the screwdriver before checking the door. You don't have to check the door. Carol automatically knows it's broken and needs to be unscrewed. Great. So that gave us some numbers, and this is endgame challenge, by the way. Those gave us numbers. We're going to press those numbers here. So it's 1, 9, I think, 2, 7. Great. Now let's open up this. We get this letter for Stina. And then you do have to click in that particular spot to close it, and then click again to back away, and game over. As soon as we enter Stina's place, you click to basically go through the dialogue. So technically not game over. We have 3 more lines of dialogue left. And then finally line number 3. And as soon as the game screen goes black, that's when I consider it to be game over. There. Okay. So as I said, the timing of this speedrun was 32 minutes and 51 seconds. And there's almost 51 seconds exactly, so it was less than like 51.1 seconds. So, you know, that's so close. I might have messed up on the timing. Who knows? And these are just the ending credits. These are all the various actors who were in the game. Hello, actors. Good job. We had 3 different people who did voices. I don't think they were the actors. They were just the voice actors. Okay. So, I think I've said everything I have to say about the speedrun. That's basically it. You could do a lot faster than this. I made a lot of mistakes with the navigation and not clicking fast enough. But what can I say? I set out to do a speedrun of the game for fun, and I did a speedrun of the game for fun, so I hope you enjoyed it. I also did a speedrun of Carol Reed Quarantine Diary, so that's the game before this one. I don't know if I'm going to speedrun any of the other Carol Reed games. Maybe, maybe not. So, thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can check out my other videos. I've done video walkthroughs for pretty much all the Carol Reed games, and I've also done speedruns for various games, like the Nancy Drew games. So if you want, you can check those out at your leisure. Thank you for watching. You have a most wonderful day.